Morning, everyone. How are you doing? Jackie Bluhm here. Excuse me. That might happen a lot today. My husband did something and got on some list, and they have been calling. Oh my gosh, and they won't stop calling. Oh my goodness. So, if the phone rings, I'll try and get to it as fast as I can to get rid of it. All right. So, today we're talking about plan random stamping, or random stamping that has a plan, which I know sounds kind of crazy. Doesn't sound right, does it? Anyway, oh shoot, sorry, hold on a second, forgot to put my volume up. Hopefully you can hear me now. If you're out there, let me know, say hi, and we will get started. Hold on, let me make sure that the computer sees me and I'm in a good frame. There we go. Looks good. Okay. Could be over a little bit more, but all right. As always, thank you for shopping with me. Appreciate it. And let's get started. All right. So, plan random. It could be white paper, cardstock. It could be colored cardstock. It can be whatever size you want. It could be the pieces that you have cut for your card, and then you just random stamp them. It could be 6x6, which is what I'm going to show you today. It could be 12x12. Okay? So start with something small to get the hang of it, and then branch out to the 12x12. All right? I'm only going to show you a tiny bit, and you can go from there. So the stamp set that I'm using is Gathering Moments, and this is out of the new mini catalog. It is a cling stamp. Remember that cling is going away. So once these sell out, I don't know if they're going to replace them with the acrylic or not. So if there's something that you like that's cling, make sure you get it right away. All right, so cling. And this is what I do. This is the sheet that the stickers come on, and it's got the Gathering Moments and the number. And I put it into the bottom of my case, so then I know if I'm missing something and roughly about what size it is. And then I also throw my dies onto magnetic sheets. Sometimes I will put them in the case, sometimes not. Just depends on what I feel like. And I'm also going to show you about these two stamps here, or these two dies here, and what you can do with them. So that's all the little bits and pieces. Alrighty, and let's get started. So the colors today that I am using are Pretty Peacock, Coastal Cabana. It said jade there, and I'm like, that's not jade. It's a different country. Soft Seafoam, and Lost Lagoon. Okay, so let's open these up. And I'm not going to go through and make you watch me do every layer, but I'm going to give you the gist of why I do what I do, and I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but this is just the way that I do it. And I also wanted to show you a 12x12 that I had done years ago, and it is not Stampin' Up stamps, so forgive me for that. Ode to my close to my heart relatives. So this is a sheet that I stamped up, and you can see I messed up here because you got all these colors out, and I tapped into the wrong color. All right, but that's what you can achieve. We're not going to quite go this many colors today, but I did want to show you that it is very easy to make your own paper. If you have a stamp set and maybe your DSP is not the colors that you wanted, this is a good alternative to that. Okay, so we're starting with a 6x6, and my rule of thumb is the bigger stamps go first and need more room. Okay, if you look on this example, the bigger stamps are pretty wide apart. Okay. And one thing that I should have done was run off the page with these. These ones I didn't. And I think this was a stencil, actually, now that I think about it. But there's no reason why you couldn't do it. And I'll just show you that in just a second. So, bigger stamps first, because they take up the most room. Leave some room for your in-between. Okay? All right. So, And the colors can be, you know, you never know. You can do one sheet and do several sheets and mix up which one you want to be the most dominant color, which is your biggest stamp, okay? All right, so I always kind of start in the corner and work my way down. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can put in a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And then you can go on and put in the next layer. So you can build around this little cluster, if you will, like so. 1. And I'm not looking at my sheet that I should be looking at. 2. And I rotate my stamp. You don't want them going all the same way. And, sorry, taking a sneak peek. And 3. Okay, moving on to the next one. 1, 2, and I like to go off the page with it. 3. And the last little one, your babyest one. Again, remember to move your stamps around a little bit so they're not all going the same way. And you can see it really over-inked that one. But they're good stamps, so it's okay. All right. So you can see how I build across. So you never really want to go around the edges because then you don't know, you don't leave yourself enough room. So I start in one corner and go across, okay? So I wanted to show you the sequence of that. So here's layer number 1. Let's get this out of the way. There's layer number 1. This is adding all of the, there you go. Tried to get it the same way. Layer number 2, okay. Layer number 3. Put these over here. I don't think I need them again, but we'll just see. Okay, so then I added those. And then I added the last layer, okay? Biggest and just down, 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 okay? Now, it doesn't mean that when you cut this up into whatever shape you need, you might have to add, depending on where you cut, you might need a little something. That's okay, just add it later, okay? The other thing I want to show you is sometimes, especially for random stamping, it's better to be at this point, cut it up, and then add a little bit than to go overboard. That's a little too much. It might work out. I didn't like this shape. And had I done it a lighter color, I probably would have liked it better. Okay? So, you got to kind of pace yourself, stop yourself. So I'm going to move my hands. So if you want to take a picture of the sequence that I did, this particular one, I will give you a second to do that. And then I will hold it up so you can see it a little closer. And you don't have to stop here. This is just white paper. I could have done it tone on this lightest colored cardstock. But you can also go around, and once you cut it up, you can sponge it. You can add dots. You can do whatever you want to do is what I'm saying, okay? All right, so that's the first part. And this is not going to be a very long video because I need to take my hubby somewhere. And the card that I made, I just cut it down to what I needed. I still have a couple pieces left. This one I didn't have to add anything to it. And I used those colors again. Well, 3 of the 4. I didn't use the Coastal Cabana. Added a little bit of this ribbon, which is, if you're interested, and if it's still available, where's the English? Striped trim, okay. Oh, it's in the yearly catalog, so it'll be there. Iridescent is what it says here. Item number 13 on page 113 of the annual catalog, okay? And then the little sparkly bits are also in the main annual catalog, and they go with the turtles These are shades of green hexagon. And the number is 165233. I love these because when you set them down, they're kind of clear, but they mimic. So they pick up, see how, let's see how that is pretty clear there. But when you pull it down here, it kind of just lifts that color in there. And even when you do one of these, it kind of changes the color from the bright to a little darker. See if you see that. Or the white to a little more bluish. Enough of that. Okay, and I wanted to show you, the next thing I wanted to show you was about these dies here. So I wanted to do something with this one. So this is a 2-piece die, right? And I stuck it in my machine, put this one through and said, oh, you need this one. You've got to put it in like this and cut it out. I taped it down so it held still. Because if you don't, if you just put that center layer in, you just get this. Okay? But for the purposes of what I'm going to show you, this will work fine. So you need to layer those together, and then you will get 2 parts. So what I wanted to show you on that is I took this old ribbon, which is the rustic trim ribbon. This is the wheat color, one of our colors that's gone. And we're going to take that apart in a minute. Let's see. Let's get rid of this ink so I don't get my fingers or the card in it. You know how that goes, right? Don't want to do that. All right. And let me just clean these up for a second. Because, you know, if there's ink around, I'm going to get into it. Even if it's not, I mean, if it's just close to me, seems like I get in it. All right. So I wanted to show you what I did to thread. I found the biggest needle that I could find, okay? And what I did was I cut off, and I used probably 26 inches, but I probably needed 30 to do the whole thing. Excuse me. Oh, okay. That is somebody. All right. So I took this and I just kind of went down the middle of it. Just make sure you can see it. I just went down the middle and cut it. It cuts really easy. So you could use that whole bit if you wanted. But I noticed that this just comes off in the, when you start sewing with it. So there's no point in having those there. You can see there's a piece there. So then I threaded it onto my needle. Pretty good sized needle. Okay, and this is just to show you it's not nearly enough. I need twice that length. Like I said, 30, 32 inches, something like that. And I'm not an expert sewer, so there's probably a better way to do it. But this is what I did. I started up here. Let me stand up. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Annette. Thanks for watching. So I started up here. I came up from the bottom. And I just, you could just take, oh, yeah, that's good, huh? Of course, because I'm on camera. So hold that down. I'm just going to leave it really long. And then I just went into there. Okay. And then I just went down and up along this whole line. And don't pull it too hard because remember, this is cardstock, not cloth. So you don't want to rip it. So I just went down and up. Let me make sure that you guys can see that. I just went down and up the whole way. And I noticed that they kind of strategically, I think if I were to do it again, I might go out to here and over to here and then continue down. Because, and I also kind of tended to, when I crossed over a section, I put my needle through the thread a little bit to kind of hold it. to kind of ground it a little bit. But what I was saying before is when I went down to here, then it was very easy to come back and get these. And then, you know, you pop down to here and it was easy to come along and finish those. So had I started here, probably would have been great. But I didn't. So anyway, that's kind of using what you have. Modify it if you need to by cutting it up. I kind of like the little wispies that it leaves. It's kind of addicting. And then what I did when I was done with this is I just taped the loose ends, like that one there. I wouldn't leave it that long, but I just taped it down, okay? Well, why am I... Oh, I got a problem here somewhere. Somehow I got a knot. Let's see. Not that one. That one. There we go. That's better. All right. Anyway, so I just taped those down, and you can see it's not too bad. And then what I did, since I cut this one out first, is I cut another layer out with the two dies, and then I just taped those two dies together. And you get this. Okay? Kind of cool. So again, I just taped it in between. I taped everywhere that I could with my tape, and where it puckered up, which was right in here, I just shoved a glue dot in there. All right. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that you will experiment. Oh, let me explain a little bit on here too. I took my marker that is the dark, oops, sorry, hit the camera. The dark soft sea foam, and I just, oh my goodness, sorry. I'm talking and the ring is hitting my mouth. And I just went around the edges. Hopefully you can see that. Added in my pretties and a ribbon. And again, I've got the 3 pieces of cardstock that is in this pattern, and this kind of mimics that, and this gold kind of picks up that coloring of those that I picked. Alrighty, so I'll try and I didn't have time to get this one onto a card, so I'll try and do that for a bonus. But I hope that you will get out your stuff and try a little plan random stamping. Bye, everyone. See you soon.